she says she didn't know if they had fallen out or if they were extracted. And I said, well, he hasn't had any teeth extracted other than the one fang. Stella, Splash, Simba, Boo, Sammy, Richard, Nancy, Goldie, Ziggy, Ringo, Eva, Hydrox, and Ditto, the Lucky Ferals. It is 9 a.m. Good morning, Boo. And this is Boo's breakfast so far. This is some homemade chicken-based smooth cat food. And I added some warm water to it. How you doing, Boo? Boo's very happy this morning. So when I checked on Boo earlier, he was laying on this blanket on the day sofa. So I didn't want to disturb him and wake him up too early. Last night, I laid in here for about a half hour with him. And I laid down on the day sofa. I used that as a little blanket. And then Boo laid on top of me for a little while. And then I said, okay, Boo. I said, okay, Boo, I'm going to go to bed. And Boo's so smart. He knew what that meant. So he got off of me and went by the window. And then I went to bed. And I got a really good night's sleep. Very happy. And last night was like the first night in months that I got down to like 50-something degrees. So the weather is starting to change for fall. This is what's left of Boo's last meal yesterday. So I'm going to pick that up and put his breakfast down. You going to eat that? You going to eat that? I just sprinkled a little bit of this calming care on his food. And now he's eating it. He really loves this stuff. But I don't want to give him too much of it. So I give just a tiny dusting of it. So today's the day that we have to take a ride up to the new vet. I need to leave here by 12:30. That'll give me enough time to drive. But I have to check the traffic. If there's traffic, I might have to leave before that. And I don't know. I was thinking of trying to get Boo in a carrier around 11:30, 11:45. Like, I need to leave myself enough time. So if the first attempt is not successful, I have chances to try again. I don't know if I want to bring something in the room to block off access to like underneath the day sofa. Like, I don't want to stress Boo out. I think it's better if I just keep him as calm as possible. I'm definitely going to put his music on and hopefully that'll relax him. And then I could just pick him up and put him in the carrier like I did last time. That's what I'm hoping. So I'm going to let him enjoy his breakfast and I need to get everyone else fed. It's 11 a.m. and here's Simba, and I put the relaxing cat music on for Boo, the Music for Cats album that I used the other day to get him into a carrier. I'm going to try the same thing today where I go in there and I give him like a churu and I let him eat the churu and then I pick him up right away and put him in the carrier. Hopefully that'll work. If he has to sit in a carrier for an hour before we leave, I'm okay with that. Maybe he'll just like calm down and maybe it'll go better. I don't know. But I have to leave myself extra time because just in case, for whatever reason, I can't get him in the carrier and I need to try multiple times. So that's what's going on there. I also downloaded the music and I burned it onto a CD and I put it in my car and I was just playing it in the car and it sounds good. So I'm going to play that on the ride to the vet. I like using the CD player in my car because my audio system, anytime I have to use Bluetooth, sometimes it disconnects and it's just a pain in the butt. And also if I have to use like a flash drive, it's not the best connection. So I know the CD is foolproof. Just put it in, press play, no issues. So that's going on there. I need to get myself ready and then get a few other things done. It's 11:30 a.m. Look at these two babies. They love it up here. So when I was vacuuming the floor the other day, I just threw everything up on this TV unit. So it's like a blanket and some toys and other things. And for some reason, Nancy and Richard love laying on this. So I've just been keeping it here and letting them lay on it. I do have to clean it up soon, but they're enjoying it now. So I've been thinking that like after I clean everything up, I might just have to keep a bunch of blankets up here. Maybe some pillows for the cats. I don't know, cat beds. They've taken over like every comfortable area in my house. Here's Sammy. I need to start getting Boo ready. I'm kind of procrastinating right now because it's like 11:30. It's like, do I try to get him in the carrier now? Or do I wait? If I get him in the carrier now, he's going to sit there for an hour before we leave. But if I don't get him in the carrier now, then it gives me, you know, other opportunities. So I don't know. Okay, guys, it was super easy to get him in the carrier. I gave him a squeeze up or churu. He was almost done with it, and I just picked him up and put him in the carrier. I really think it's this music. So I'm going to put the cover on the carrier, and my stress level is going to go down so much right now. That's really why I wanted to get him in the carrier as soon as I could, for my stress level more than anything. So he's just going to relax here for an hour. It's 12 p.m., and here's Ringo and Eva, and every member of the Lucky Seven is upset about Boo, because Boo's been crying and howling a little bit and shaking the carrier because he wants to get out. Here's Sammy. She was pawing at this basket. And here's Nancy. Nancy's hanging out by the door because she could hear Boo. You okay, Boo? So we still have another half hour before I want to leave. I still need to finish up a few things. I'm actually printing out the printout from the emergency room the other day, just in case it wasn't emailed to the vet that we're going to today. Now, I did take this cover off, and I sprayed this cover with the Feel Away spray, which is supposed to help, you know, keep cats calm, although it doesn't seem to be working with Boo. And, you know, I figured when I trapped the Lucky Seven, they all stayed in that trap for, I mean, a minimum of 12 hours. You know, if I got lucky and I trapped one the night before, they would stay in the trap overnight, and then I would take them to the vet in the morning. But as I kept trapping more and more of them, it was getting more and more difficult to get them in the trap. So I would have to make sure that I got them in the trap sometimes 24 hours in advance, sometimes 48 hours in advance. I think Ziggy might have spent the longest in the trap. She might have spent like 2 or 3 days. I would have to go look at the videos again. But I remember that some of them spent a lot of time in that trap. And of course I had the transfer cage attached to the trap. So it was a 36-inch trap, but then it was like another, I don't know, 18 or 24 inches of the recovery cage. So it was bigger than a regular trap. They all survived. They all got through it. And we know Boo had a really bad TNR experience. So he doesn't like, you know, being in confined spaces. And he's actually much better now that I'm here with him and I'm talking, because he's not flipping out as much. But I do need to continue getting myself ready. We only have, at this point, a little bit less than a half hour to go until we leave. I could leave early and then just drive really slowly. But as it is, if we leave at 12:30, we're still going to get there early. I'm just super happy that Boo went in the carrier. If I continue to be able to get him in the carrier very easily by using the relaxing music technique, then I don't have to get him in the carrier early. The reason why I felt like I had to get him in the carrier early today is because of a few weeks ago, that day that I could not get him in the carrier. No matter what I did, I could not get him in the carrier. And also from what happened when I tried to take him to the animal hospital, I could not get him in the carrier until I tried the relaxing music and the squeeze up. Now today was the second time I used the relaxing music and the squeeze up. So we're 2 for 2 with that. If we can do it 3 for 3 with that, like if I have to get him in the carrier again and that works again really easily, then I pretty much can count on that working, and I don't have to try to get him in a carrier like earlier than necessary. So that's the situation. All of the Lucky Seven are very upset. You know, they're like, what's going on? They're worried about Boo. And I think that's really cute. Stella, Simba, and Splash, I think they kind of have an idea of what's going on because they've been like, you know, looking at Boo through the door. Every time I open the door, they look in, they're like, what's going on? And Boo's been in here before. Like, they know Boo's been in here before as far as this room goes, but the Lucky Seven don't really know that. So the last time Boo was in this room was when he was recovering from his tooth extraction. And at that point, the Lucky Seven were inside, but they had pretty much just moved downstairs. You know, they really didn't know what was going on because everything was like so new to them. But the other members of the OG4, the other 3 members of the OG4, you know, they've seen Boo in and out of this room several times. And of course, when he first came inside, he spent 90 days in quarantine in this room. And toward the end of that, he was allowed out. He just couldn't mingle with the other cats. So they were on differing schedules. So when Boo was outside, then the other 3 were downstairs. And Boo got to roam around the house like all night. And then the other guys would come up during the day. Kind of similar to what's going on now with the Lucky 7, where they go downstairs at night and then they come back up. So Boo's calmed down because I'm talking, which is good. So I'm going to leave. I still need to gather my things together. I still need to get the printouts done. And I don't know if there's anything else I could do to be productive today in the next 25 minutes. Okay, Boo, be calm, okay? Just relax, okay? Just relax, okay? We're going to go for a ride soon. You're going to be good. You're going to have some new friends. You're going to make some new friends today, Boo, okay? It's 12:15 right now, and here Simba is relaxing in the cat tower. And I just checked the traffic report, and it's going to take us about 35 minutes to get to the vet. And I wanted to talk about things that I always bring with me when I have to go to a vet, because you never know how long you're going to be sitting there. I've literally sat at animal hospitals for hours. I think the longest was like 4 or 5 hours. So some things that I always make sure that I have with me are a bottle of water. But I also like to bring a bottle of juice, like a small water-sized bottle of juice also, because if I need a little bit of energy, I'll get that from juice and not so much from water. I also bring some snacks. I like to bring Larabars with me. Those are made from fruit and nuts, and they're really healthy, and they're kind of filling also. I also like to bring some hard candy. I like to bring some Gin-Gins. Those are good to have. I also like to bring some kind of reading material, some kind of light book. Today I'm bringing a book about animal communication, just like a paperback book, something really light that I can throw in my bag. And I also like to bring like a little notebook and a pen in case I need to write anything down. Of course, you know, you could always take notes in your phone, which is what I do sometimes, but in case there's an issue with the phone battery. The other thing would be like charger cables for the phone, because there have been situations where I have had to sit in a waiting room and like charge my phone. That's always something else that's good. And of course, some kind of like sweatshirt or sweater, because sometimes it's freezing in these places. Any kind of medication or supplements that Boo might be on. Like right now, he's not on anything, so I'm not bringing anything with him. But like when I went to the vet a few weeks ago and he had to take those calming drops before going to the vet, I made sure to bring those with me in case anyone needed to see them. And of course, any kind of paperwork. So I have the paperwork that I printed out from the emergency room, and I'm bringing that with me also. Here's Nancy and here's Ringo. And because it's Boo, I don't put any toys in the carrier with him, and I really can't put any blankets in the carrier with him, because he's known to have accidents in the carrier. The majority of the times he either pees or poops, so anything that I put in there is just going to get ruined. And if I put a blanket in there instead of a training pad, then that blanket needs to be put into like a plastic bag to be brought home and put through the laundry. So it's just easier to use training pads, because then those can be thrown out and then just replaced. So I keep some extra training pads in my car. I should actually put a few more in the car, but most of the time the vet's office will replace those for me. So that is what I bring. And then of course, if there's any kind of music, like today I'm bringing the CD of the relaxing cat music for Boo, and that's pretty much it. We are just about halfway to the vet's office, and so far Boo's been doing really good. He's only howled a few times. Most of the time he's just relaxing. We're listening to this relaxing music for cat CD. It's even relaxing me. Like, I am just super relaxed right now. And it's a beautiful day, beautiful sunny day, not a cloud in the sky. It's only like in the low 70s right now, so let's hope the rest of the day goes well and the rest of this trip goes well. We just got to the vet, and Boo was really good for the second half of the trip, and we were on time. We're actually a little bit early, which is fine. So I'm going to take him inside, and I'm going to be very interested to see what it looks like inside this new vet's office. Yeah, we're going to go in and see what they say. It is 2:30, and we just got home. So we didn't do bad at all considering we spent over an hour traveling. When we got to the vet's office, there were a lot of dogs in the waiting room. Some really big dogs and little dogs, and Boo was the only cat. There was one little kitten. I think they said the kitten was 5 months old. It was sick. It had been sick for a few days, and it was wrapped up in a blanket and wasn't even in a carrier. The little boy was just holding it. But thankfully, they took Boo almost right away. I was only waiting there maybe 10 minutes, and then they brought Boo in, and everyone was really nice. There were 2 vet techs. Well, there was a vet tech and a vet tech in training. They were very nice, and then also the vet that we saw was very nice. And Boo was examined, and she pointed out some stuff about his teeth that no one else had told me. Like, she was saying that his rear teeth have a lot of tartar on them, and he's actually missing some of the rear teeth. She says she didn't know if they had fallen out or if they were extracted, and I said, well, he hasn't had any teeth extracted other than the one fang. And look at this, guys. Look at this. No poop in the carrier and no pee in the carrier. And I really think it's because of this Music for Cats CD that I was playing. So I played the CD in the car on the way there and also on the way back. But Boo's problem is usually on the way there, that he either poops or pees in the carrier. And then when we were in the waiting room and also when we were in the exam room, what I did was I played it on my phone, and I put my phone on here, like on top, and then I put this cover over it. But I played it like really, really softly, so you really couldn't even like hear it much, but Boo obviously heard it. And so it definitely helped to relax him. He was probably the most relaxed I've seen him on the exam table. And he let the vet and the vet tech trim all of his nails, all of them, which was great. And he got weighed. So on their scale, he was almost 14 pounds. He was like 13.75 pounds. And she said that, you know, he's doing good for a cat his age. The only issue that she really noticed was his teeth. And then we talked about, you know, his dermatitis from the fleas, and she asked me if I wanted a refill of the Revolution, because I said the only thing he had was, like, you know, Revolution a few days ago. And she goes, oh, do you want a refill on it? Now I'm thinking she's going to give me like one refill. It ended up being a box of 6, and that's expensive. So that was like $150 that I did not expect. But I figured if I don't use it on Boo, I could maybe try to use it on Splash or some of the other cats, like 6 doses of that. I'm sure I could use it somewhere. And we are going back in 2 days. So what they did was they printed out a list of like the expenses for a dental procedure for Boo. And the low end was $1,600, but if he needs extractions, it could go up to $2,000. So I was like, okay. And she's like, when do you want to schedule it? And she told me that she does dentals once a month and that she actually had an opening on her next dental day. And I was like, okay, when is that? And she's like, in 2 days. So he's going back in 2 days. Right, Boo? You're going back. I know you don't like hearing that. But you're going back, and I have to drop him off early in the morning between 8 and 8:30. And if it's going to take us over a half hour to get there, we need to leave by 7:30. But it's probably going to be during rush hour, so we might hit a lot of traffic. I don't know. I'm going to have to see what the traffic's like tomorrow morning. And I drop him off there in the morning. And then what they do is they give him the anesthesia. Then they take x-rays. And then they do the dental work. They're going to clean his teeth. And she said if they need to do any extractions, they'll do some extractions. And then later in the day, I'll pick him up. I'm just hoping he doesn't have to have like all his teeth removed. Because, you know, she was telling me that cats do fine. If they have all their teeth removed, they could still eat. I don't know. I think it would be better if he had some of his teeth. He really likes chewing. Right, Boo? I don't know what's going to happen with that. I'm super, super happy that I figured out that Boo responds to this relaxing music for cat CD. I'm hoping it works so I could get him back in a carrier in a few days. And I just hope everything goes well. I hope everything goes well with the procedure, and that they clean up his teeth, and that he gets to keep them, and that everything is good. Right, Boo? Right, Boo? You happy? The vet said that Boo looks like a ladies' man. I was like, yeah, he's definitely a ladies' man. So then I was asking her, what do you suggest to do for a cat to keep their teeth healthy? And she's like, well, for dogs, there's a lot you could do, but for cats, there's really nothing you could do. She goes, a lot of it is genetics, and you know, there's not a whole lot. Some cats get bad teeth, and then others don't. So we do know that FIV is a factor with tooth health for cats. So I'm gonna give Boo a treat. Boo, you want a treat? You want to squeeze up? You want a squeezy? You want a squeezy? You want churro? I'm gonna give Boo a churro. He loves churros. So I'm actually kind of glad that the next appointment is relatively soon, because I only need to keep him in this room another few days. So he'll stay in this room today, and then tomorrow, and then the following day he goes for the procedure, and I have to remove all food by midnight the day before the procedure, and then I can't give him breakfast, but he could have water. So the process is really similar to when I took like all the cats to get TNR'd. It was kind of like the same schedule. The only difference is that the vet that I used for the TNRs was quite a bit closer than this vet. About 15 minutes closer. Good job, Boo. Good job. It is 6:06 p.m. and look at this. This is a first. There's Sammy. Now, Sammy hangs out by the back door occasionally. But look at this. This is Ringo. And that's Eva. The three of them are hanging out by the back door. I've never seen this before. They look very comfortable. What are you guys doing? Look how big Ringo is. Ringo, you're such a big boy. He's sleeping with his head off the side of the step like that. And Sammy has her head on the door thing. I don't even know what they call it. The thing that keeps the door open. The spring or something. Hey, Ringo. Look at Ringo. Look at Ringo. Wow, he looks comfortable. Here's Boo. What you doing, Boo? He's been hanging out in his room. I gave him another squeeze up on this plate, but he didn't eat it. He did eat a few other chewers that were on the plate. So I ended up laying down on the day sofa. I was so tired. I was like, I'm just going to lay down in here for like a half hour. And it ended up being almost 2 hours. I fell asleep for a little while. And then I woke up and Boo is like laying on my legs, and then I couldn't move. Tomorrow's going to be a normal day. Then the day after tomorrow, I have to get Boo back to the vet between 8 and 8:30 a.m. And I just found out that on Friday, I have a work meeting that I have to go to, and that's going to be between 8 and 9 a.m. on Friday. And to me, this is really early. Having to be somewhere at 8 a.m. is like really early for me. So this is going to be 2 early days in a row, and I'm definitely hoping that everything goes okay for Boo. Hopefully it's a normal day. I hope, it's a normal day. I drop him off, everything's normal. They get the dental work done. I pick him up, everything's normal. Hopefully, it's not going to be a crazy amount of aftercare, because I was asking her today, like, so what happens if, you do a dental and you get some teeth taken out? They're like, well, then he would just... And she was like, well, he would just need to be on soft food for about a week. And I was like, oh, okay, because he's been on soft food for like the past 4 or 5 days, and I still have a bunch of soft food in the freezer for him, so that should not be an issue. It's not fun having teeth extracted, so I'm definitely hoping he doesn't have to have a lot of teeth extracted. So the plan is that I am going to make him some shrimp. I'm going to have some shrimp for dinner. He's going to have some. And I'll give some to the other cats also. And then later today, when the lucky 7 go downstairs, I'm going to let Boo out of this room because he's not bleeding. He's doing well. I just need to finish up some work stuff. And then I'm going to, you know, clean up in here. I'll change the runner by the window that still has some blood stains on it. And I'll just make sure things are clean. So if the other cats want to come in here. So Boo can then like roam around all night and potentially also during the day tomorrow. And then tomorrow night, I'm going to put him back in here. So then he'll spend the night in here and then the next morning we'll go to the vet. I think that's a good compromise, right, Boo? Because you have not seen the other cats or the rest of the house in a few days, right, Boo? Right, Boo? Okay. All right, you hang out. I'll let you out soon, okay? So it ends up that Boo does not like squeeze-ups as much as he likes churros. And churro? Want churro? Okay, I'll give you a churro. I think it's around 7:30 p.m. and what's going on with Boo? I think it's around 7:30 p.m. and I just cut up 2 little shrimps for Boo. And I'm going to give it to him. Hopefully they're small enough pieces, they're soft enough. I mean, I overcooked it, so I forgot that these are pre-cooked shrimp. I don't know how I could forget that because, you know, they're the color of pre-cooked shrimp. So I put them in the steamer. I wasn't even thinking because I was in the middle of trying to finish some work today, like actual work. I wanted to make this for him for a treat because this seems to be his favorite food right now. I hope he's okay eating it. I hope it doesn't cause his mouth to bleed. We've been doing so good. He has not been bleeding for, you know, several days now. I think he stopped bleeding about 4 days ago. I still have to scoop the litters and do the waters and everything. And I'm not going to let Boo out until like everyone has eaten their food because I don't want him eating like what the other cats are eating. It's 11:45 p.m. and I opened the door to Boo's room a few hours ago. And he came out and he was hanging out in a cat tower in the other room. And then I got some squeeze-ups and churros and I was going to give him and Stella and Splash and Simba a treat in the living room. And then he came back in here and he wanted his churro in here. And he's been hanging out on the day sofa. So I was like, Boo, you want me to shut the door? Or you just want me to keep the door open? I think I'm going to keep the door open tonight. So if he wants to walk around, he can walk around. Thank you for watching this Lucky Ferals video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you'd like me to post more videos. And please make sure to check out these other videos that were selected especially for you.